Lianguke.
A very good afternoon. Welcome to Younib News at 1. Now on Sunday, young people gathered at Uhuru Park grounds, the location of Shuja's memorial performance, waving Kenyan flags and wearing black clothing as tribute to those who lost their lives over the previous 3 weeks of anti-government rallies. As part of their democratic right, some concert goers have demanded justice for victims killed by rogue police officers. Among those in attendance were Kenyan performers and activists who kept on mobilizing youth against the poor leadership.
Baba, itakuwa ni kazi bure, turushe mawe, tupige kelele, tuseme Ruto must go, alafu mwisho wa siku 2027 baada ya jamaa warudi. Kwa sababu gani? Sisi hatuna kura, hatuna vitambulisho. Itakuwa tumefanya kazi bure.
Hii ni mwanzo. Hii ni kionzo. Na tunaambia Rais Ruto, mambo bado, tunakuja bado. Lazima afanye vile vitu ambavyo tunataka. Tunasema jiuzulu, atuachie Kenya yetu, sisi wenyewe tuendeshe.
Our motto is just Ruto must go. That's our motto.
Ni mashujaa kwa sababu walikufa katika hali ya kupigania venye nchi ilikuwa na kupigania haki yao. Kwa maana katika constitution yetu tunasema it's allowed to demonstrate because of something ambayo haijafurahisha.
Ile generation ambayo ilipita walikuwa na heroes yao kama Kennedy Matipa, hiyo ni heroes yao. Kama sisi wa kizazi cha sasa hii, those are our heroes ambao waliuawa.
Lying that it's only 19 people who have died. Yet the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights is saying clearly 41 people have died, young people of this country. Maybe one of them could have been the president of this country. And therefore today we are joining those lost souls to say enough of President Ruto's leadership. We cannot continue this way. It cannot be business as usual. And therefore we are here today to tell Ruto to stop doing things the way he wants.
We don't want to see anyone with a siren on our roads. We don't want to be bullied off our roads by there again. We want people to, like I said, be audited. There's so many things we want to be done. So just because Ruto spoke to the country and went on X doesn't mean we have got a change. We need to feel that change.
Zakayo must go. Hatutaki tuone wenzetu wakiwa hapa kila siku. It is very painful.
President William Ruto's announcement to alter his government, including the dissolution of 47 state entities, has not stopped Azimio leaders from criticizing him. The leaders claim that some of the significant adjustments that President Ruto has suggested are unable to solve the issues that the young people and the Gen Z are facing.
If you want to annoy the Gen Zs, you talk to them about your tribe. So this is a big achievement, and the days of transparency are ahead of us. But
today we hear these young heroes saying Ruto must go, and Ruto will go. We have no doubt about that. It's a matter of time.
Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka says corruption has characterized the conduct of the Kenya Kwanza government.
The problem some have said in this country is not revenue collection, but the consumption levels, the opulence, the greed that has been demonstrated by leaders, the inexplainable nepotism in this country. The country right now is at a crossroads. This is not a thing that we think should be delayed for even one extra day.
They want an accountable government. Not a government that leaves lunch when the citizens are suffering. Not a government that spends money anyhowly, unaccountably, and continues taxing people. Not a government that does not care about business people, doesn't care about the youth.
We know he's trying to panel beat his government, to put some very cosmetic changes, to form task forces. We must thank the Law Society of Kenya for rejecting to be lured into a system of cleansing an already failed regime.
Now, in conformity with the celebrations of Sabasaba Day, attendees from all religious backgrounds persisted in calling on President William Ruto's administration to follow through on the budget cuts that they had instituted in order to achieve a better society. The men of the cloth also demanded that the president department act with professionalism.
Today we are gathered together to remember a group of young people who mobilized and came out against impunity that oftentimes you have seen in our nation here, Kenya. And our prayer is that their death would not be wasted death. Our prayer would that the kind of ripple effect that would come from the impact of their protest would go a long, long way in reducing, if not in completely removing from the scene, every manner of impunity in our country that has been exercised hitherto.
Today, we are also remembering our young people who went out in the protest against overtaxation, against injustice. And they wanted us and this country to reject the finance bill. And the finance bill, or the Finance Act, was repealed. So we also thank God that the goals of this protest have been achieved. But now what remains is for us all to stand up and fight for justice. Our fallen heroes, our fallen soldiers, your death is not in vain.
Now, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, has since accused the Interior Ministry of undermining his campaign against the illicit brew. Rigathi accuses those at Harambee Housing of setting the president against the people, but he also says he is prepared to hand the fight over to someone else, if necessary, in order to prevent harm to the region. His wife, Dorcas Rigathi, claims that even in her offices money is taken away, it won't lessen her passion to fight for the boy child.
If you allow overzealous officers at Harambee House with a political scheme to interfere with this war against illicit rule, those people, those officers will set you up against the people. So when I started hearing last week that some people want to interfere with that work, one, I heard that our local member of parliament has directed the security officers in Karatina, purporting on orders from above to reopen our bars. One, a member of parliament cannot instruct security officers. And if the security officers in this region are taking instructions from a member of parliament, we shall discipline them. Watu watakosanisha rais na wananchi. True or false? Nyinyi mkifikiria mna siasa mnacheza hapo. Ati kwa sababu hii program Rigathi Gachagua ndio anaongoza, amepata umaarufu, ati mfungue zile vilabu zilikuwa zinauza pombe baya, ndio watoto waanze kukufa. Mutakuwa mnamhujumu na kumkosea Rais William Ruto na serikali yake.
Your Excellency, sisi tuko nyuma yako, na sisi kama vijana ambao wametoka hapa Nyeri, hiyo kazi umetufanyia ngumu zaidi ya kupigana na mambo ya pombe, tuko nyuma yako.
We are going for a short break. We will be right back with more news updates.
Je, wewe ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750 344 700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best.
Ever the best. Hallelujah.
Welcome back. Following President William Ruto's announcement that the First Ladies and Second Ladies offices will no longer receive budgetary support as of July 1st, 2024, some leaders have now demanded that the same sword be used to cut the First Ladies' budget in each county, thereby cutting funding to devolved units.
Rais amesema kwamba anataka kukata budgets na ataanza na ofisi yake, kwamba kwa nyumba yake ile budget ya First Lady imetolewa yote, si ati imepunguzwa. Na vile vile pia mimi naomba, kwa sababu rais yeye katika national government amesema ametoa budget ya First Lady, ningependa kuomba magavana wetu wote pia hao watoe budget za First Ladies wao wa county government.
Hapa Kakamega Parasa alihonga MCA fulani kuweka pesa kwa ofisi yake, na waliweka shilingi milioni 300. Pasari ya Kakamega mzima ni milioni 240. Ameshindwa ya pasari, lakini kwa pipi anafanya nini? Hiyo mambo tumesema riswe leo.
Tragedy struck the Kilenda area of Nkandone sublocation yesterday evening as a violent confrontation between herders and heavily armed bandits resulted into the death of 5 individuals, including a police officer. The clash erupted while herders were grazing their livestock, leading to a 5-hour gunfight with approximately 40 Samburu bandits.
Kuelezea kwamba jana Jumamosi mwendo ya saa 7, saa 6 kule area ya Kilinda area pande ya chini ya Mbulu malishoni huko, wafamizi kutoka Tanzania walitoka Samburu walifahamia watu ambao walikuwa malishoni huko na wakaiba ng'ombe mingi na mbuzi. Wakati wa tumeita askari wetu NPR, GSU na ASTU wakakabiliana, wakaficha ng'ombe kwa laga na wakangojea, wakapigana sana hapo kwa masaa kama 4-5 mpaka mwendo wa saa 1 ndio kawa iko wakaua askari moja anafanya kule Lare, wakaumiza askari mwingine mmoja wa GSU na wakaumiza NPR moja ambaye hao wote walipelekwa hospitali na mmoja akaaga. Kwa upande wa serikali hao ndio waliumia, askari moja NPR moja na askari moja wa GT General Duties walikuwa akakufa.
Now on to sports. Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports Ababu Namwamba has unveiled a new initiative to promote the creative industry in the country, focusing on monetizing music, fashion and comedy. The initiative, Who's Next, aims to achieve success for creative talents in the Talanta Hela project.
We have curated this project we are calling Who's Next. You can look at Who's Next as the creative side of the Talanta Hela coin. Okay. The other side of the coin has just been Talanta Hela for sports. Now you flip that coin, you see Who's Next, which is now Talanta Hela for creatives. We want to give Kenyan creatives spaces where they can put superior products into the market. We have already opened space for you under the Grammys. Okay. We have opened space for you with our Trace connection. Volume 1500 Studio. Volume 1500 Studio is the biggest recording studio in Los Angeles. That is where people like Snoopy Dogg record their music. It's big. That's where people like Rihanna record their music. Amplifying the role of creatives and consolidating it as a serious economy. The people who think comedy, music, fashion, pageantry, the people who think those are sideshows.
That is all we had lined up on our news desk. I am Nancy Wambui, and remember, life is what we make it, always has been, and always will be. Have a good day.